for you.
I appreciate that, Mrs. Jarrett, but that doesn't mean we're going to see eye to eye on everything.
Well, it was eye to eye all the way when you were round on the doormat, though.
To the best of my knowledge, I have not broken any election pledges.
My husband says what you need in the Labour Party is a few like Norman Tebbit.
Believe me, Mrs. Jarrett, we've got one. Only he happens to be a Conservative.
Well, I know that. I don't agree with his policies or anything, but he talks a lot of sense. So can you offer us anything or not?
I'm sorry, but in the first place, it's a council matter, not a parliamentary one. And secondly, I don't actually disagree with the proposal. I support it.
But if it was your house they wanted to build a funny farm next to, I'd support the proposals and all.
It is not a funny farm, Mrs. Jarrett. It is a home for the mentally handicapped.
Yeah, not all there, all next door to me.
They are perfectly ordinary people, able to hold down a job and look after themselves, only with slight difficulties, that's all.
They built one next door to a friend of mine, and they stand in the garden and look at her.
Yes?
Well, it's enough, isn't it?
Well, maybe they're looking at her because she's looking at them.
Oh, it's not just that. We're hoping to sell up in a few years. Well, who'll want the place now? Next door to a mental home? You'd have to be mad to buy it. But it's easy enough to have a social conscience when it's not your house that's next door to the funny farm.
Mrs. Jarrett, I wouldn't mind if I was next door to a whole funny wildlife safari park. Surely we all have to help each other, build a better, more caring society. And when you voted for me, that was what you voted for, wasn't it?
Yes, I want a more caring society. I just wasn't planning on having it next door.
Ah, Jean.
Oh, yes, Norman.
We'll all be pulling together then.
Why? Have we been selected for the Commons tug-of-war team?
Solidarity is the word then, is it?
I knew it wasn't militant.
Seen the latest opinion polls, have you?
Oh, I live and die by them, Norman.
Oh, don't we all? Meat and drink. Oh, we're well up there, Jean. Riding high again on salmonella.
Well, that's good news for chickens.
Unemployment could soon be worse than ever. Poverty and homelessness are on the up and up. Oh, things couldn't be rosier, really.
It certainly made my day.
Oh, if things hold steady, we'll soon be in Downing Street.
What, all of us, Norman?
Well, the select few, but I'm sure that Neil will throw the doors open for a wine and cheese. So, let's not rock the boat then if we can help it, eh?
I don't know why you think I'd start any trouble.
No, neither do I, but you get a feeling of imminent shipwreck in your bladder, don't you?
Oh, and by the way, you know 2 of your constituents are waiting to see you.
Oh, there's a nuisance. They're a waste of time, you know. If it's someone else wanting a tour around the chamber or a packet of fags from the souvenir shop, I shall need my pieces repaired.
I'm sure it won't be the first time they've been done.
Thanks, Jean. Oh, Austin, about that satellite dish you sold me.
Now, this is the way to the chamber, and after visiting the tea room, we'll make our way down to the souvenir shop. Oh, hello, Jean.
Godfrey?
Now, that is what we call a woman Labour MP. There are a few of them here, not too many, thank goodness. Follow me. This way. Thank God.
I have got 38 letters here from constituents instructing me to vote against abortion, and I've got 38 letters here instructing me to vote for it.
So, what are you going to do?
I'm going to wait for the next post.
I do so admire principles in a man. But what if you still have equal numbers?
Well, in that case, I'm going to get caught in a traffic jam and not make it to the division lobby. After all, a man must do what he has to do.
Yeah, hang on to his seat at all costs.
So, how'll you be voting on the amendment?
According to my conscience, Ken.
All right. Well, I'll see you in the traffic jam.
Hi, Mark. Hi. Hello, Jean.
Yes, Mark, what is it?
Well, I've just been daffed up by Rennie Collerton in the lobby.
Oh, that old axe still doing battle, is she?
What did you want?
I think it's called horsewhipping.
It was a word in private, actually.
Can't Tories afford telephones?
Well, I think possibly after the debate she's afraid you'll slam it down again.
It's not so much a debate, Mark. It's more like women's wrestling.
She started it, Ken.
Ah, but you kept it going, calling her
A
a...
bog-room Boadicea.
No, the other one.
Oh, you mean Attila the Scrubber?
Yeah. And this, Mark, from the woman that says Parliament is full of overgrown schoolboys.
No, Ken, overgrown, snotty schoolboys.
I always forget the relish.
She got the ball rolling. She said, if I was such a fan of Karl Marx, why didn't I join him in Highgate Cemetery?
Oh, you would never get a plot.
Anyway, she asked me to sound you out about the possibility of a little chat.
What about?
Well, she didn't say. She suggested you meet on some sort of neutral ground.
I believe it's very nice in Switzerland at this time of year.
We don't agree on a lot of things, and I know we've had the odd ding-dong across the floor, but I wasn't up in the belfry on my own, was I?
No, I wouldn't say you were the only one pulling the ropes.
So, if you're interested in a bit of hatchet burying, I'm high on the private members ballot, and I'm planning something that quite a few people won't be too keen on.
Oh, yes, what's that?
Well, it's a little bill wanting better representation for women on public bodies. You know, committees, councils, boards of governors, anything like that. A minimum of 30%.
You won't get that through. If you tried to make one woman on a committee a legal requirement, you wouldn't get it.
Well, I know that. But I'm not trying to set the world on fire. I just want to scorch a few complacent backsides and singe the odd eyebrow with my little candle.
Yeah, and the wet blankets will soon have that snuffed out.
And if all women MPs vote for it, even when it's thrown out, it'll still get a nice bit of publicity in the morning, won't it? So,
what do I get out of it?
you didn't need to be here long.
If you needed to be here long, you wouldn't be here long.
Then you get out of it what you put into it, don't you? This is Christmas in no man's land. Hands across the barbed wire. This is numbers, not politics, Jean. You only need to wear a bra for this one. You don't have to burn one.
Yes, well, I'll think about it and let you know.
Well, thanks. Oh, and you know where to find me. Just ask for Attila the Scrubber. Everybody knows my office.
Nothing personal.
How did you like joining Karl Marx in Highgate Cemetery?
Oh, I'll wait till I'm dead, then I'll have more time to enjoy it.
Excuse me, I don't suppose there's any chance.
Another one, Renee?
Same again, darling.
No, I didn't think there would be.
Now, this is one of the bars where MPs come to submerge their many sorrows. Now, if you follow me, we'll go down to the souvenir kiosk where we can buy gifts and trinkets at very competitive prices. This way, this way. Ah, Jean.
Oh, Godfrey.
Little proposition.
2 in the one day. Things are looking up.
I don't know if you've espied me lately, bustling hither and yon with tremendous dispatch.
Yeah, I've seen you shepherding your flocks. Are you fleecing them or just pulling the wool over their eyes?
Oh, very good. Providing a public service, I prefer to see it as. Televising the Commons has generated the most enormous interest in this place.
Yeah, the foot through the screen syndrome.
Yes, people like to come here and see democracy in action for themselves.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yes. They like to see the chamber and then have lunch with an MP. But there are just so many nose bags that a man can strap on in a day. I mean, one has to give one's teeth a rest occasionally. So I was wondering what you'd say to a spot of lunch.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Godfrey, but I am rather busy.
No. Not with me, with the odd punter or two.
Oh, well, I usually just have a sandwich.
Oh, well, I haven't promised them anything hot.
No, I have enough on my plate with my constituents.
Oh, I'm not asking you to do it for nothing. But if you know any other MPs who'd be interested in making some money...
Well, I could tell you who isn't, Godfrey. That wouldn't take so long.
Oh, well, if you change your mind, I've ample bookings available. Of course, I can't pay you as much as a cabinet minister. But, however, having said that, being a woman, you see, you're a novelty in your own right.
You mean like a whoopee cushion, Godfrey?
Ours not a reason why ours, but to bank the cash.
Well, I don't actually want a job as a tour guide, thank you, Godfrey. This is supposed to be the seat of democracy. It is not Wookie Hole.
Oh, well, I'll leave you our brochure just in case you change your mind. Oh, I must rush. I'm late for the 4:30 tour already. Now, this is the part of the tea room where the Labour Party traditionally meet for their Machiavellian backstabbings. So we won't linger. If you follow me down to the kiosk, where we can buy House of Commons, wine and chocolates at their control.
It reminds me I must book my holidays for the summer recess. Now then, Jean.
Yes, Norman.
I won't beat about the shenanigans. I'll come straight to the point.
It'll make a change from your usual way of getting there.
Now, what I'm hearing, Jean, down the grapevine, is that the monstrous regiment of women here are girding up their loins to give the Parliamentary League of Gentlemen a serious kick in the gonads. Is that right?
That will be about the size of it, Norman.
You know this is a Tory bill you'll be supporting, don't you?
It's non-political.
Oh, how can anything be non-political? Well, frankly, Jean, the question you should be asking yourself is, am I a woman or am I in the Labour Party?
I wasn't aware that they were mutually exclusive.
Well, no, of course not. They're complementary, but where do our loyalties lie? With Attila the Scrubber or our man from the valleys? I mean, it's not as if women are that badly represented on public bodies.
Then how come that out of 650 MPs, only 40-odd are women?
Well, if you're going to cite meaningless statistics. There are more serious issues. Men don't have an easy life either, you know. They have prostate trouble.
Are you telling me to vote against it, Norman?
Well, no, of course not, but you could always abstain. I understand there's a very good traffic jam that members often get caught in when conflicts of this kind come to a head.
I ride a bike.
Well, I'm sure that a few tacks or a slow puncture wouldn't be too difficult to organise.
Tell me something. When it comes to how you vote, are you a man or are you in the Labour Party?
Well, question doesn't arise, does it? They're one and the same.
Do you know, when I was born, Norman, they said it's a girl, not, oh, look, it's a Labour MP.
Oh.
You know that home for the mentally handicapped?
Yes.
The council have withdrawn the planning permission.
They have not.
They've got another site, though.
I suppose there'll be objections to that now. Where are they putting it?
Well, you know that big, empty Victorian house just across the street?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, well, that's splendid, don't you think? That old house would be perfect.
Of course, couldn't have picked a better one. But you do know it's going to wipe a good 20,000 off the value of our property.
Oh, I'd have said 15.
Oh, well, it's only 15. I'm not so bothered.
It's academic, Jeff. We're not selling the house. We're not going anywhere. I don't mind them putting a home for the mentally handicapped across the street. In fact, I'm pleased about it. I shall write to the local paper and say so.
Me too. I'm overjoyed. The postman comes, one letter later, I'm 15,000 worse off.
7.5. Half of it's mine.
Oh, that's not half so bad. If it's only 7.5, well, I'll probably spend that much a week on drink. The only thing that makes me feel really bad is that I can't get a letter like this every day.
Jeff, I am the MP. I have got up on public platforms to support this sort of project. So what do I say now? Not in my backyard, because it might cost us some money. It's a question of principle.
Couldn't we have a few cheaper ones?
What do you say?
Eugene, I don't mind about the money. I'm happy about the house. I just don't think a lot of the neighbours are going to be.
So who cares about the neighbours?
Well, you might, seeing they voted for you.
Oh, I just had to come and thank you, Mrs. Price.
Oh, really, Mrs. Jarrett? I hardly did anything.
Oh, you say that, but we all know what goes on behind the scenes. And to actually get it put right across the street from yourself, oh, I bet your neighbours are proud of you, eh?
Yeah. We've had the odd note and can of lighter fuel through the letterbox.
Oh. Some of them, Mrs. Price, they'll say anything for a vote. But no, you practice what you preach. And come the next election, you can count on us.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Jarrett. It was the least I could do.
Well, thanks again. Bye, then.
Bye.
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 So, any other customers requiring satisfaction?
Just the one. Next, please.
Ah, Mrs. Price.
Yes.
Now about that nut house at the end of my back garden. I suppose it was your idea.
Oh, Jean.
Oh, Norman, look. If you're going to chew my ear off, will you either make it quick or can I have an anaesthetic?
So you did the dirty on us after all?
If that's how you choose to see it.
A sadder but wiser man stands before you today.
As long as some goods come out of it.
Yes, treachery in the ranks, division in the party. I mean, Fleet Street and Wapping will be having a field day. You know what the press are like. No bin unrifled, no lamppost unsniffed.
Yeah, there ought to be a registration scheme, really.
Oh, I can feel us galloping down the gallop poles as I stand here. Well, if we do lose the next election...
It'll be all my fault.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But every little hinders. The knife between the shoulder blades, Jean. It still hurts.
Yes, but what's one more incision, Norman, in a back so full of holes? I'm sure if the worst comes to the worst, you can always get a job as a watering can.
Well, I dare say we'll weather the storm. I just hope there'll be no more of this cross-party feminist collusion and suffragettes nouveau.
Who knows, Norman? It could be just the start. This time next century, the Women's Party could be in control.
Oh, yeah, sometimes I think life's too short, and then sometimes I see the benefit of it. Oh, Jean, before you dash off, you know this abortion amendment, you know there's a free vote on it, don't you?
Oh, of course, yes.
Yes, well, I've just jotted down a few guidelines on where to put the cross.
Oh, thank you. I shall study them carefully.
Now, after we visited the souvenir shop, I arranged for us to have dinner with the Labour whip, who will give us a little talk on 10 long years in opposition.
Haven't you made your mind up yet?
Well, it's more crucial for me than it is for you, Jean. I mean, Scottish politics aren't like English politics.
You have better drainage, do you?
No, but we do have a more highly cultivated sense of revenge. Some very moody people in Scotland, Jean, you know. A lot of deep thinking goes on behind those bushy eyebrows that meet in the middle.
Come on, Ken. The worst that can happen is you'll lose your seat.
Yes, but I've grown so very fond of it. Besides, what else can I do at my time of life?
Well, couldn't you go back to what you used to do?
No, not really. The monkey died.
Well, if the brains of the outfit have gone. It's a free vote, Ken. Just don't worry about it.
It's the aftermath, Jean. They're a wee bit Puritan in my constituency.
Oh, they don't believe in sex before marriage, that sort of thing?
They don't even believe in sex before death.
It's your mind. You must have your own views on the subject.
Yes, I do.
So vote according to them.
Yes, I will.
What are your views, anyway?
Just let me weigh these again in case I made a mistake.
Hello, Godfrey.
Hello, Jean.
No tours today?
No, a lot of cancelled bookings. Bit of a trough, you know, what the recession and everything.
Recession, Godfrey? But I thought we weren't having a recession.
No, indeed, no.
I thought it was just a pause in growth, deliberately engineered by the government to control inflation.
Well, absolutely. What I meant was the strength of the recent figures.
What figures?
The figures.
Oh, those figures.
Yes, the balancing of index of monthly, you know, the figures that have recently gone up.
Oh, you mean the unemployment figures?
Yes. No, the other figures. But what with the ERM and the EMU, obviously there's been a bit of a knockback effect on the JCB and the NCP, so everybody prefers to go abroad.
But I thought most of your customers were from abroad.
Yes, well, they still prefer to go abroad. It's all a question of social attitudes.
Social attitudes, Godfrey, but I thought, according to your party, there was no such thing as society.
Oh, no, there isn't. I mean, when I say society, I don't mean society. I mean a convenient term loosely used to describe a large number of individuals.
Oh, I see. Yeah, with more spiritual attitudes.
Spiritual? Sorry, I don't think I recognise the term. No, the plain fact is, Jean, that people are now too prosperous to take holidays.
Oh, too prosperous to take holidays?
Oh, yes, since they've become so well off, they can afford to do without them.
Oh.
It's due to the great success of our carefully planned debit boom.
Debit boom?
Yes, in a credit boom, people borrow in order to spend money that they haven't got. But in a debit boom, they save the money they have got in order not to spend it.
Oh.
Which gives the appearance of a downturn in what is actually an upswing. So though you think you're paying more for less, in actual fact, the pound in your pocket has never had it so good.
Yes, well, that's all about as clear as raw sewage, Godfrey.
Well, complex thing, economics, Jean. Very difficult for the untrained mind to grasp, especially a woman in the Labour Party. But if you can't understand a simple thing like a debit boom, it's no wonder that people don't think that you can handle the economy.
I see. So what you're really saying is that although I'm worse off than I used to be, that's because I'm better off than I was.
Oh, well done. Well done indeed. And you see, though it appears that I am quieter than usual, in fact, any economist will tell you that I am busier than ever.
Well, I'm awfully glad to hear your business is booming, Godfrey.
Yes, well, I hope it eases off soon, Jean, because I don't know that I shall be able to cope.
Jean, excuse me. Jean.
You creep.
Have I missed it?
We walked through hours ago.
Oh, I had to go to a meeting. I got a taxi back and we got stuck in the traffic. Honest, I got out and I ran the last half mile very fast.
Like chariots of fire?
How did it go?
The expression is by a narrow majority.
Oh, well, it can't be helped. If I missed the vote, I missed the vote.
Oh, Jean, seen your mate Sporran features around anywhere? Did you catch him in that kilt the other day? Looked like a tartan kebab.
No, Norman, we have not seen Sporran Features. We have seen Old Coracle Head, alias Leak Legs, but Sporran Features is still on the missing list.
He's on the wanted list. There is a poster up at the whip's office with your name on it. Wanted. Raw or fried, preferably the latter.
It was a free vote, Norman, and that includes abstentions.
I had a free lunch once. I'm still paying for it.
Still trying to get it off your tie? If you'll excuse me, I have to see a woman about a bill.
I have to see a man about a dog. I'll see about you later.
Not if I see you first.
Cheers, Jean. Here's to wooden spoons and the art of stirring.
Cheers. I wondered, actually, Renee, after the other day. I'm thinking of introducing a bill myself to do something about one-parent families.
And you wondered if I'd support your bill, seeing as you supported mine?
Yes.
Well, no, I can't. I mean, it's not the same, is it? I mean, that's party political.
Is it? No more than equal representation.
No, I don't agree with it. I brought up my two on my own. It wasn't easy. But if I can do it, so can they. Teaches you the value of money. You know, you can do too much for some people.
But if you were a one-parent family yourself, surely that's all the more...
I know them. Some of these girls would rather get pregnant than work for a living.
Well, from what I can remember, it is working for a living. It's a 24-hour shift with no tea breaks.
You make getting pregnant a soft option. They'll all be up the duff and wanting an epidural.
I don't seriously believe that.
You don't know my constituents.
Well, what about the widows and deserted wives?
Make the husbands pay.
When they're dead?
Jean, I was a widow. I didn't ask for anything. I went out cleaning.
I don't think women left on their own with two small children to bring up should have to go out cleaning.
There is nothing wrong with cleaning.
That's not what I said.
And there is nothing wrong with getting off your backside, standing on your own 2 feet, and not expecting handouts.
So you won't support my bill?
That was about rights. This is about politics.
Well, thanks for nothing.
What's up, Jean?
Nothing. I mean, I voted for her.